You know, in science, there's some rules that just seem set in stone. But what happens when one single patient's recovery shatters everything we thought we knew? Today, we're going to dive into a massive moment in the fight against HIV, a cure that, by all accounts, just shouldn't have been possible.
7. Think about that for a second. That's how many people in the entire world are considered cured of HIV. It's this tiny, exclusive club, right? And up until now, getting into that club has always required a very, very specific key.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This latest cure, this 7th person, they broke all the rules. Their story challenges the very foundation of how scientists thought these cures even happened. It's a case that defies all expectations.
So let's get right into it. A surprising HIV cure. Officially, a 7th patient has been declared HIV-free after getting a stem cell transplant. But here's the big twist. The treatment completely ignored the one rule that scientists thought was absolutely non-negotiable for a cure. See, for years, the scientific community was pretty confident they had the secret to curing HIV figured out. There was this consensus built around one single magic key, an essential ingredient they were sure was necessary for any cure to work.
And this was called the magic key theory. It was all about unlocking the old science of an HIV cure, and it all hinged on one very specific, very rare genetic mutation.
It's called the CCR5 mutation. Okay, so think of it like this. HIV is a burglar, and it needs a specific door, that's the CCR5 protein, to break into your immune cells. Well, this incredibly rare mutation basically removes the doorknob and deadbolts the door forever. It makes the cells totally impenetrable to the virus.
So, the old logic was really straightforward. Step 1, you've got the patient's immune cells, and HIV is using that CCR5 protein to infect them. Step 2, you do a transplant and replace that whole immune system with donor cells that don't have that protein, the ones with the magic key mutation. And boom, step 3, you have a brand new immune system that is basically invincible. Any HIV left in the body just can't get in.
And this wasn't just some fringe idea. This was the playbook. As Dr. Christian Gabler, one of the key researchers, put it, the belief was that using these HIV-resistant stem cells was essential, non-negotiable. That was the thinking.
And then, along came the patient who broke the rules. This is where the story just completely turns everything we thought we knew on its head.
All right, let's look at the timeline. Back in October 2015, a 51-year-old man has both HIV and leukemia. He gets a stem cell transplant. Now here's the kicker, the part that changes everything. His donor did not have that magic key mutation. The new cells were still vulnerable. Fast forward to around 2018. After 3 years, he decides to stop taking all his HIV medication. And today, he's been HIV-free for over 7 years. He is considered cured.
I mean, this quote from Dr. Gabler just puts it all into perspective. He said, it's amazing that 10 years ago, his chances of dying of cancer were extremely high, and now he's overcome this deadly diagnosis, a persistent viral infection, and he's not taking any medications. He's healthy. That is just, wow. It's an incredible human story on top of all the science.
So, this raises a massive question, right? If it wasn't the magic key, what on earth happened? If the immune system wasn't invincible, how did it win? This one case forced scientists to come up with a whole new theory. And this is where the paradigm totally shifts. The old theory was about invincible new cells, a passive defense where the new cells simply couldn't be infected. But the new theory is all about attacking new cells. The idea here is that the new donor cells saw the patient's original HIV-infected cells as a foreign threat and went on the attack, actively destroying them. It's a process called graft-versus-host disease, and it looks like, in this case, the host being attacked was the HIV reservoir itself. The new cells didn't build a wall, they sent in an army.
So, a new theory is great, but what does this discovery actually mean for the future of HIV research? Well, the ripple effects here are huge.
So, a few key takeaways. First off, this could dramatically expand the pool of potential stem cell donors. We may no longer need to find that 1 in a million person with the rare mutation. It also just blows the doors wide open for new research into weaponizing the immune system to hunt down and clear HIV. And importantly, it backs up the findings from another similar case, the Geneva patient, which suggests this isn't just a one-off fluke.
Now, this is all incredibly exciting stuff, but we absolutely have to put it in the right context. We have to talk about the reality of this breakthrough, because it comes with a really important caveat.
And this is so critical to understand.
This is not a widespread cure that's going to be available to millions of people, at least not yet.
And this chart really shows you why. A stem cell transplant is an incredibly aggressive, high-risk, and dangerous procedure. It's really only for patients who are also facing life-threatening cancers. That same graft-versus-host reaction that might clear HIV can also attack the patient's healthy tissues, and that can be fatal. For the vast majority of people with HIV, today's standard antiretroviral therapy, or ART, is extremely safe, very effective, and has a super low risk.
But what this case did was prove that the impossible is sometimes just a rule that's waiting to be broken. It has kicked open a brand new door in the search for a cure. And it just leaves us with this really hopeful question. If this fundamental rule could fall, what other breakthroughs are just waiting on the other side of doors we haven't even thought to knock on yet?